Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to vlog number 61. I'm gonna play a few options for reharmonizing harmonically the blues and soloing on that. So I'll have a little click that I prepared for us. Voila. And I'll play this ahead in for something so we hear the form, and then I'll start messing around a little bit and we'll talk about that. So what I was doing, I started quite extreme. I was dividing the scale, the key. I was in F major, so I did like F major, A major, and C sharp major, right? Like basically like, you know, the Coltrane three-tonic system, but without all the changes in between, which I added some stuff later on. So, and I started right off the bat. I just like went there. I wasn't even like, you know, starting to. I wasn't trying to like play the changes a little bit. I was just diving there right on. So what I was thinking is basically I divided the form into 4 bar sections. So 4 bars of F major 7, then 4 bars of A major 7, and 4 bars of C sharp major 7. So what happened, that was kind of the beginning, and then I started adding chords to those centers. So maybe I was in F, but I would play like a 2-5 or some sort of progression in that key, and then maybe, and I started leading before I got to the A major to bar number 5, so I started leading with different progressions to that. And then the same thing with the C sharp. I was trying to like do some stuff, maybe not just dive into right away, but like play some changes leading out of that. So I would play the C major, and then I would maybe play like a 2-5 or something of that nature, leading back to the top. And I was trying to go extreme right now, just, you know, just for the fun of it, and just to kind of show that everything is possible. In that sense, you can kind of choose whatever changes you want to play. Of course, if you're playing with people and they're swinging and they're playing the changes, it might be too extreme, but you can also find other ways to basically get from point A to point B. And I think a good way is to write it down, or to kind of decide with yourself, like, okay, I'm gonna do I don't know, some sort of progression to lead you to where you're trying to go, and be like, I'm gonna solo on these changes, like I did right now with like kind of extreme again, like playing F major, A major, and C sharp major. So that's like just like a, you know, a taste or an idea that you can mess around with, and I'm curious what you guys come up with. I mean, maybe we can start a little discussion and try to like talk about, you know, different ideas that you have that you dig, or like thoughts. And of course, if you talk about the blues, there's a huge tradition, right? If you think about you know, Parker and, you know, like leading to the 6, you know, these kind of things, 4 minor, 2-5, all these things that are again, expressing the changes but in a more chromatic way. So you can do the same thing, but I think it's also very important to know the tradition, so you can like and so on and so forth. So you can, and that was again like really trying to like do these chromatic Parker changes and articulating them. And I think a good way is kind of connected to what I was saying about the triads maybe 2 vlogs ago, saying like, okay, let's try to take just the triads and articulate the changes. So you can do the same thing with different sets of changes, being like, okay, right? And you can do the same thing, you know, and deciding, okay, I'm not going to just triads, I want to do like 7 chords, so you have, you know, the major 7 or the dominant 7. And a good way would be trying to play like just 8 notes on these changes and trying to outline the changes and trying to, you know, do it in a clear kind of way and not just playing scales. So it's like, you know, and so on and so forth. And in the first few notes I played, I actually didn't, like, I had to stop, which wasn't a good idea. I really recommend trying to be like very strict about it. Be like, okay, right? And then at the end of in that turnaround, I did like F, A flat, G, G flat, just playing that progression, and super simple, right? I just played a triad, but it's kind of strong because the triad is like very clearly telling you where you are harmonically, so it's kind of cool. I think it's cool, you know, depends on what you do. But yeah, so that's another way to, I think, find more options to reharmonize the blues or anything, right? The songs are the same song. Every, I think, piece of music, again, with what we're talking about right now, all these songs and tunes, they have a lot of specific anchor points. In the blues, I think it's, you know, the first bar and then going to the 4 kind of bar, and bar 5 in the form, and then the last 4 bars, like that 2-5. So, I mean, you can really create a lot of like different motions, harmonically and melodically, to again, could be more extreme or less extreme, which kind of ties to one of the questions that someone asked about voice leading, and was saying that Kenny Werner has this idea of like, or saying that you can connect any 2 chords and the voice leading is what matters, and I totally understand that. And dig that, and I think, yeah, voice leading is a very big part of it, and we can talk about it a little bit more. I can do it tomorrow maybe. So, and again, it still ties into the triad concept, because although you're playing one note and articulating the changes, so you're doing one note voice leading in that sense, right? So if you slow it down and you say, okay, I'm gonna play half notes on each chord, so let's say we're just playing these few bars, right? So we're doing like, let's say, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So I can decide on what notes are the best notes to describe these changes, and I can slow it down even further, be like, okay, I have F, so I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and for the E half I'm going to do like just one note. I'm just showing that. So then for the A7 I might do that, or I might stay there, and then, but maybe it's a good idea to go there, and then, for example, so it would be 1, 2 notes and start, or 3 notes. So I think that it all ties back to the tries and being very clear and very specific, and coming up with specific exercises that telling you, or you're telling yourself, what you're trying to achieve. Okay, we'll talk about voice leading in another time because this is a big subject, but I'll try to dive into that. Tell me if this is helpful. Tell me what kind of cool reharmonization you have for blues or for anything that you do. You can write your changes. I'm super curious to see what you guys are doing. Yeah, cool. So please say hi, please subscribe, please leave a comment if you can. Send it to a friend that might dig that and be like, oh, that's a cool idea, or not. And I'll see you soon. Bye guys.